Okay, so this is our long casualty care backpack as described in the previous video. It's derivative of this Spear one made by Mystery Ranch. You've again got the same size, I think it's roughly 20-liter sleeping compartment pouch because fundamentally this bag is designed for long-range, long-term medical operations. Now that may be on patrol, but it could also be that you're a roll 2 and you're just looking to have an all-in-one bag that includes all your sustainment gear as well. This pouch we kept from the previous version, the original. This has been modified. I'll show you what this does now. And then you'll notice a big zipper here that runs along the sides, and that gives us the prolonged casualty care compartment. I will show you that last. We designed these new side pouches because we want to work our way in, starting with TCCC, and the side pouches would be the first way to access this. It's also just useful for any quick access medical gear. I wanted to give lots of flexibility to providers. It's a quick rip open, boom, and then you have access to this, which zips in, and then these two are spare, but you could fit in up to 4 that are lightly filled or 2 filled to the brim, and then this will fold in on the side like so. So you end up with a liter of lactated ringers or such, and then these 2 med pouches that you can fill with whatever you want to fill. And again, you could fit in 2 of these if they're filled to the brim, or 4 of these if they're only lightly filled. But this gives you a lot of extra flexibility. And one thing I really like about this design is it's designed to be flexible, so you don't necessarily have to keep it on the pack. We've tested this out, just attaching it to various vehicles like M-razors. Anytime you have a MOLLE panel, you can use this in your hut, and that way you just rip it open and you've got quick access. And everyone who has this pack gets 2 of these. So you just have a lot of flexibility. You can use it for your mission needs, whether on patrol, back at base, in a vehicle, ruck, truck, hut. It does something for everyone. Exactly the same thing here on this side. So that's the first innovation. Hopefully these will be available separately because I can see people wanting to attach them to their existing rucks, existing trucks. We'll certainly, if we had the option to deploy with my unit, we'd want to keep these in our vehicles because they're just so quick access. They attach with MOLLE as is tradition. All right. This compartment here behind the standard kind of utility pouch here is the sustainment aspect of it. You have, instead of 2 compartments, the main compartment and the sleeping compartment, you now have 3 compartments because of the prolonged casualty care aspect. So it's a lot smaller because down here, that's already the prolonged casualty care aspect, but you can still fit in several days of clothes, water, food, ammunition, a radio in a pinch sideways. But this gives you, suddenly you have, for the first time, as far as I know, in rucksack making, you have a ruck that kind of does everything for long-range medical missions. This part here takes the sustainment stuff. This part here does PCC, and we'll open that in a second. And then this part here is all your sleeping system, snivel gear, etc. Moving first, though, to the lid, we designed the lid as one option for you as a day pack because we realized having a full-size day pack on long-range patrols, things are changing from the GWOT, where typically assault packs were the norm because you weren't going on multi-day missions. And then when you combine a main pack on any long-range patrols with a substantially sized assault pack, suddenly you're carrying an extra 5 to 10 pounds of web gear. So going kind of back to pre-GWOT, we came up with this based on Mystery Ranch's design, which is, this is actually both an E&E and an assault pack in of itself. So the previous Mystery Ranch designs that were similar but didn't really take off because they were GWOT era. But let me show you here. So this first off opens up, and now you can place a whole bunch of these same Velcro medical pouches, up to 4 roughly, in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, plus some fluids. So this assault pack should be enough to get you going for most of your TCCC needs. Then on top of that, you have these 2 pouches here on top that give you an extra 20 liters of space for, again, ammunition and hydration, sleeping system, or minimal sleeping will be something like that. So this should get you through the assault, and certainly will get you through E&E if you have to. This is meant to bridge the gap between what is now 30 to 40 liter assault packs that are the norm. This one's roughly 30 liters. We added some MOLLE on the inside so that, especially if you're wearing plates, you can attach a radio on the inside. It's not super comfy, but you're not going to notice it as much if you're wearing plates. And then this becomes the actual mini ruck. The good thing about it is it rides pretty high. So if you're wearing belt order, which is particularly relevant when you're on long range patrols, this is going to ride up nice and high. It's not going to get in the way. You'll be able to carry all sorts of things on your belt. Okay, next phase we're going to make a third video out of this. We're going to do the actual PCC items, because this is sort of, so far we've just adapted things, trying to combine, again, TCCC on the outside, sustainment up here and down here, and then now this new PCC compartment with PCC equipment. So we'll make a separate video about the PCC aspect. One final addendum to this pack that I didn't mention in the previous videos that I'm going to try to splice in at the end is, so I mentioned that this pack here, you have a divider between the sleeping compartment and the main compartment that you can take down very easily, so you can fill it all the way without having the dividers. The same works here. You have 3 dividers, one for the sleeping compartment and one, or I should say 2 dividers into 3 compartments. One between here, the top part of the PCC and the sustainment compartment up here, and then one between the bottom and the sleeping system. You can take both of them down, so you can show up without the PFAK, and you just have one large main compartment. But then when you need to carry the PFAK around, or you're given the PFAK, you put the divider up, and now you have this compartment. Similarly, if for whatever reason you need to carry more medical gear, you could really fit about 3 PFAKs, so 6 of these clamshells that I showed, if you filled it up from top to bottom. You can additionally fit some, at least 1, possibly 2 in this compartment, especially if you take that compartment down. And again, you could end up with just one big hollow tube if you take both dividers down. This is very much a utility ruck. You can use it for anything and everything. You could use it for completely unrelated missions, when it, like nothing medical, because fundamentally it's this pack with an extra divider, with these taken off, and things like the med lid, the side pouches you can replace, you can take off. So in a pinch, this could be used by any military person, and you would never know that it is fundamentally designed to be a medical pack. Or you could put various IT things in here, if you're a drone operator, if you're a counter IED, anything like that. If you have equipment roughly of this size, you can put it in this compartment.